Hey there, we're here at Wiener Horses Farm, and I thought I would do a quick video to highlight some of the differences between the sexes, take some guesses here on what I think are boys and girls. Some of them I know for sure, and just explain to you some of the characteristics you can look for when trying to tell your chicks, trying to tell your chicks apart. And the oldest ones are about 3 to 4 weeks. The youngest ones are approaching 2 weeks. We'll start with the oldest. This guy right here is the oldest. He actually hatched out by himself from a different, his mama had been sitting on some eggs, and all the others hatched about 2 weeks prior, and this guy was an egg that slipped in the nest late. Definitely a boy. I'm not even gonna, just because of his behavior mostly, and how big he is, the thickness of his legs and how long they are. Here his comb, pea combs are tricky to tell. Let's see, hold on baby. It's kind of hard to see, and it's not all that defined yet. As he is a fibro, he has the fibromelanistic gene. He will not get a really, really red comb. I think, are you one of my Easter eggers, or are you fibro? I can't remember. Actually, no, he's only got one fibro gene, so he will tend to, he will have more red than one that has 2 fibro genes. So he's one of my fibro Easter eggers, but you can see his comb is bigger. Not quite a classic pea comb male in terms of being thick and the same width the whole way down with the 3 rows of peas, but he'll get there, I'm sure of it. And he's definitely more feisty and adventurous than the others. This guy is also a male. I call him Mondo because he's just huge. He's about 3 weeks old. He was huge from birth. He was a monster, and the Lavender Americana cock that I have, that's breeding most of my Easter eggers, he throws big babies in general, but this guy was huge from the start. He's got big thick legs, they're long, he's sort of gangly. His leg is a sort of, females tend to be more of a box shape, whereas males tend to be more of a, I don't want to say vertical, but they tend to be more vertical. He's just very, again, like the other one, more adventurous, likes to see what's up, inquisitive, tries to jump out a lot. Compare that with a girl. I think it's a girl. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's a female, about the same age. You can see the size difference. Size doesn't always isn't an indicator, but it's a clue. It's all about piecing together the clues. He's got, a bigger, thicker, longer leg. He is about he's a few days older, but doesn't make that much of a difference at this stage. He's just a big boy. Okay. You can barely see her comb here. It's hidden. Again, pea combs, kind of tricky, especially as these are Easter eggers. Mostly Americana. There's a little bit of Marans way back in their history. Yes, I know. And she's also you can see she's more docile and quiet. Again, not all females are like this. It's just one of those clues. Yes, baby. This I know is a boy because it's a cream leg bar, and cream leg bars are auto-sexing, meaning you can tell them from birth. You should be able to. If you can't, then it's not one that you would want to breed. It's not a good representation of the breed. He's overall, you can't see as much now because he's starting to feather out, but as a chick he was cream colored, sort of a buff tan coloration. They should have a nice white spot on their head. That's from the barring gene. Boys have 2 copies. That's why their spots tend to be bigger. Not always, but often. Girls, it's a sex-linked gene, so girls can only carry 1 copy of the barring gene. And so their spots, if they have them, tend to be smaller. You can see the barring coming in here. And let me see if I can find, oh, there she is. This girl is about maybe I don't know, 5 or 6 days younger, but she is just smaller in general. Again, not always, but if they were the same age, the difference wouldn't be so great. But you can see that they don't look anything alike, and that's how you can tell them apart at hatch. She's got thinner legs, much thinner. She is darker brown. She's got the little chipmunk, and boys often have the chipmunk stripes on the back too, but it's not as dark as this, just because it's a lighter color. The cream is lighter color than this dark brown. They'll have this little triangle on the top of their heads, may or may not have a little spot. She's got sort of a spot right there. And they'll have what we call eyeliner, that little stripe, dark brown going through the eye, and that's a good representation of what a cream leg bar pullet should look like when they're hatched. There's baby. And you can see some of the barring there. Hello. This right here, what are you? I'm not sure what this one is, to tell the truth. Could be a boy, could be a girl. At this stage in the game, hi, hello. You know, let me see. I'm gonna go with female. The comb is on the smaller side. I don't really see any wattle growth here, nothing pink. Usually in females, the males are the one, or females feather out more quickly in most chicken breeds, because again, I won't go into the genetics, but just trust me, they do. However, this particular variety they have of black silver Marans, my males and females tend to equally have. I have slow feathering females, I have fast feathering males. It mixes up, so I can't use feathering, the rate of feathering as a good indicator. I've had a lot of females that hardly had any feather growth at all, you know, about 4 or 5, 6 weeks into it. But I think this is, sure, sweet. And it's calmer in general. Again, not an indicator, or not a definite proof of sex, but it can be an indicator. Let me see what else we have. Hello, baby. Okay. Oh, hello, you. This is a male. Almost sure of it. It is a lavender Marans. However, I'm not going to use it for breeding because he's missing feathers on his legs. But he's got his comb is really starting to pop out here, and it's starting to turn pink. Yes, I know, sweetheart. And it's kind of hard to see because he's all wiggly. But oh, hold on, sweetie. Yes, you're so squirmy. I know. But hold on. There is a little. Well, not really. This could be one of those tricky ones. I'd say 75% certain it's a male, just because of the comb popping out and it's starting to turn pink, which you can't really tell as well on the video than I can tell sitting right here holding him in my hand. But it started to turn pink right there. But it could be a fast developing female, and they are tricky sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna go with male on this one. Come here, sweetie. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I know, you're not happy. This, I think, is a female. And a female splash leghorn. Oh, what are you doing over there? What are you doing besides making a mess? Leghorns are kind of tricky if you go on just comb alone, because females, they have very large combs, and females can develop quickly too in terms of their comb growth. But again, males typically tend to develop a comb a lot faster in single combed breeds. I'm going with female for this one because she's just got a more petite body, and her comb isn't huge. again, at 3 weeks, I would expect it to be a little bit bigger than male. Now, some males are slow developers, especially if there's a more dominant male out there in the same group. Some of the less dominant males are tricky because they can delay, like they might have delayed growth in terms of maturity. Did I talk about this one yet? Did I talk about you? I don't know if I talked about you, but I don't think I did. This is a little boy here. Yes, squirmy worm. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, your life is so rough. Big comb. Big comb. Starting, and then you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of wattle growth developing down here. In about a week or so, it'll be really obvious, the wattle growth development right there. It'll really pop out and turn pink. That's another black silver moran. It's not the same one I showed before. That one, even though it has just, I guess, little feather growth as the other, like I said, for this specific variety of morans, I know it. I've been breeding it for several years now, so I know my birds, and I know that you can't rely on feather development as a clue in my black silvers. Let's go with one I have no clue on. Hello, baby. Silky! This is a Showgirl Silky. One copy of the Naked Neck gene. Excuse me. It's got a little bow tie on front here. If it were a stripper Silky, it wouldn't have anything here. It would have 2 copies. Silkies are pretty much impossible to sex until they either lay or crow. And even then, crowing isn't always an indicator. This one's got, yeah, they have walnut combs, which kind of start out looking like pea combs in terms of being flat. If I were to make any sort of guess, I would go with female right now, just because it is on the smaller side in comparison to some of the others I have at this age. And it doesn't have a huge comb popping out at me. But, yeah, it's just a guess. Silkies are notoriously hard to sex. Hi, baby. Alright, well, I think that's a good example for now, and I might do some more later. I've got a hatch coming up soon, and I think I also hear somebody here to pick up some chicks. So if you have any questions, please drop me a comment, and I'll answer to the best of my ability. Thanks a lot.